Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to have a difficult discussion with you. I say it's difficult because it will affect your emotions and because it is abstract. Suppose, ladies and gentlemen, that wherever it is that you presently are, somebody came in and shot everybody in the surrounding area. They shot your mother, they shot your father, they shot your brother, they shot your sister, they shot your cousins and uncles and aunts, they shot your friends. They were all dead. Is that right or wrong? Obviously, most of you are going to say that's clearly wrong. What is it that prevents something like that from happening in a place like the United States of America? Laws and the enforcement of laws. Now this sounds very simplistic, right? Obviously, it's against the law to kill people. Obviously, it is horrific and disgusting to slaughter a large group of people. And obviously, in the United States of America, we don't have individuals go and commit mass murders. But ladies and gentlemen, that is because we have laws, and that is because, to a decent degree, the laws in this country and in this state are enforced. I want to say next that we must never take for granted the fact that we have laws. We have laws that are enforced, and that these laws protect us from crazy, psychopathic serial killers. That wasn't the case in Germany less than 100 years ago. That wasn't the case in Russia less than 100 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. That wasn't the case in Iraq just short of a decade ago, just over a decade ago. That's not the case today in North Korea. Yet here in the United States of America, we are fortunate enough today that the law prevents people from arbitrarily killing us. And there's no excuse. People can't kill us because of the color of our skin. They can't kill us because of our religion. They can't kill us because of our political views. They can't kill us because of our gender. They cannot kill us for any reason other than self-defense. And that's what the law says. But ladies and gentlemen, what if here in the United States that wasn't the law? Now I understand that most likely your response to me is, well, of course that's the law, and that law is never going to change. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what if more and more people stopped paying attention to the laws that are continually being passed, and enough people stopped paying attention to the laws that were being passed, and a sick group of people just managed to get away with passing laws that enabled them to discriminate against particular groups of people, to harass particular groups of people, to imprison particular groups of people, to murder particular groups of people and torture particular groups of people? What if only 5% of the country paid attention to the political affairs taking place on the local level, on the state level, on the federal level, and even in terms of what's going on around the world? Now you might say that will never happen. There will never be a time when only 5% of the population pays attention to what's going on politically. I wish it was so easy to believe that would necessarily be the case. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. In the election of 1860, 80% of the population voted. In this last election, the election of 2012, the presidential election, only 60% of the country voted. Similarly, in the previous gubernatorial election in the state of New Jersey, only 60% voted. That means 40% of the population did not vote. And it's not only about voting, it's also about paying attention to what's going on. Now let me tell you something else, ladies and gentlemen. At the town council meetings in East Windsor, less than 10 people show up. Sometimes the only people that show up there are the town council members and the mayor and their small administration. Sometimes the local paper doesn't even report on these town council meetings. Do you, in your honest opinion, think that that opens up the possibility for abuse? If nobody's going to these local town council meetings, nobody's watching, nobody is being vigilant, do you think, in all honesty, with your knowledge of human history, that it is impossible that the present town council would not be doing something illegal, would not be doing something that would be unfair and harmful to the citizens without them even being fully aware of it? I insist to you that that is absolutely possible and happening throughout the United States of America, and happening here in East Windsor, New Jersey, where I live. Ladies and gentlemen, the point that I am trying to make with you today, is that politics matters. And at the end of the day, politics means life or death. Now, we're fortunate here in the United States of America that even though our laws are not perfect, they're decent. But that's not the case in North Korea. That's not the case in Iran. Absolutely not. And to say that it magically will never be the case in the United States of America just because we're the United States of America is not provable. And I again remind you, if you were to do research and ask how many people attend local town council meetings, many town council meetings are attended by less than 10 people, sometimes less than 5 people. Many town council meetings have nobody from the public talking. And this gives these local governments ample opportunity for abuse. For example, jacking up our property taxes. And then it happens on the state level by jacking up our income taxes and by putting people into these weird government jobs that aren't necessary. But they take our money anyway because we're not paying attention. And it happens on the federal level. It happens on the federal level, and let me give you a perfect example. Because so few of us paid attention to what was happening in Washington, D.C. over the last decade, a federal politician named Nancy Pelosi, represents California, said in regard to Obamacare, just pass the bill and then find out what's in it. And this was in regard to a 900-plus page bill that then accompanied over 20,000 pages of regulations. Let me repeat that and make sure you heard that. She said, just pass the bill and then find out what's in it. Because we didn't pay attention, her and people like her did exactly that. They passed the bill without looking at it, without analyzing it, without scrutinizing it. And this horror that is Obamacare, which is going to take away jobs, which is going to make a tremendous financial burden on those under 30 in the next decade, is going to hurt the economy terribly. Because not enough people paid attention to politics. Because too many people believe that politics doesn't matter. Ladies and gentlemen, I say to you today, politics matters, and it is crucial